व्याप्तमेन चराचरम तत्पदं पूजितं च तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. All the divine personalities who has guided us, the humanity, from time to time, I pray to all of them, present anywhere in any form, and start today's discussions about 25th December. Jesus Christ, as all of us know, is a great personality of the West, and today there could hardly be any part of the world where he is not known and where this Christmas Day is not being celebrated. In his lifetime, he was enlightened, he knew the wisdom, and he tried to pass that wisdom on to all of us present on earth. Somehow it was not taken in the right spirit. And because it was not taken in the right spirit, we see this great enlightened personality hanging on the cross, which is definitely not good for humanity to see that. But whatever has happened in the past, and we must honor him and all his deeds to the fullest extent possible. There are many things which we would like to go deep into, but the first thing is 25th December. Why is this day chosen? The source of energy, our life on earth is supported and is only possible because sun energy is able to reach earth. If there is no sun, there would be no food available. There would be no photosynthesis, no chlorophyll, no plants, no animals possible. And therefore every culture, every religion, every system of this whole world celebrates sun in some form or the other. Maybe we have added it as a part of our religion. Maybe we have added it as a part of our culture. That maybe some of us even do not know why we celebrate, but we always celebrate when sun's energy is needed the most on our planet Earth. And as you know, specifically in this hemisphere, as the month of June passes, July onwards, the sun's energy starts reducing. The days starts becoming smaller, and there comes a day, 21st of December, when it is supposed to be the smallest. 22nd may be the same, 23rd onwards it may start increasing a little. And when it starts increasing, it is time to celebrate. Anything what gets oxygen, what gets life, because of the sun energy, becomes very important at this stage. And in ancient time, before even Christ was born, it was being celebrated as Basil Day. Basil is a small plant. You will find almost in every house in India. And this plant is giving oxygen. This plant is giving pranvayu. Pranvayu is oxygen 24 hours a day. No other plant does that. There are few plants like banyan tree, people, and basil. Banyan and people you cannot put in your home, and therefore basil was always part of ancient cultures, and it was always kept inside the home. And 25th of December, when the sun's energy was very low, at this particular time of the year, everyone was giving water to basil. Everybody was taking care of the basil so that more of pranvayu, more of this energy gets available to us. Today is another thing. It is also called Gita Jayanti, the day when Bhagavad Gita was born. Around this time is also another time called Mokshda Ekadasi. That is also today. And all those who are willing to and want to work for liberation, they used to keep fast today. So 25th of December is associated with almost every culture in some way or other. It was called a big day in India. And in Hindi, in Sanskrit, they call it Bada Din. And Bada Din means when the days started becoming little bigger. So now hope came in. And hope is always being celebrated. If you are working in a company, you are doing some work, the moment hope comes in that I am going to receive a very big order, what do? You just go and celebrate. Similarly, for the whole humanity, this was the time of celebration because now we knew that we are going to get more sun energy. More crop will come in. Because the moment you get sun, almost everything is taken care of in the creation. And therefore, this celebrations starts coming in. So this is all about 25th of December. Now, first time it was celebrated as a Christ's birthday. I think most of you may be knowing that Christ was not born on 25th of December. So, but it was very nicely chosen, and it's a beautiful thing because in almost 336 years after Christ supposedly died, there is also a confusion here. Some believe that he died, some says no, he was not dead, and from there he could escape and came back again to his guru in Himalaya, Babaji, and stayed all his life there. And some people believe that he was dead. So, whatever it happened, what I want to say that the first celebration of the Christ's birthday happened 336 years after he disappeared. After either he was dead or he disappeared. So, and that was done in the Roman Empire. When the Roman king was ruling, he decided that yes, we all must celebrate 25th of December as Christmas Day as the birth day of Christ. So that this celebration is necessary. So that at the time when energy is the lowest on our planet, it starts rising, a hope comes in. So there are only few more days left, and then we will have again nice times on our earth. And then what happens? That you need each other. When energy is at the lowest and hope has come, then you need each other to celebrate, and therefore all the family members used together, and whatever somebody doesn't have in form of Santa Claus or some other form, in form of giving gifts, in form of giving Advent calendar, anything. But this was also the time of providing and giving gift. And not the gift of today that you give a Mercedes car. The gifts were chosen very carefully by family members, that what my child doesn't have, what my parents do not have. And they used to discuss among themselves that Santa Claus will come and will give you something. And then father or mother or son or grandfather, grandmother or somebody from the family will act as Santa Claus and will try to put the things on their bed, in their cupboard, somewhere, so that the likeness what the person was suffering for the whole year gets completed, and they start again living happily for some days, and then of course the sun's energy will be able to take care. So, in honesty, 25th December has nothing to do with the Christ's birth. It has everything to do with the lowest energy of the earth and the time when a hope comes in that energy is increasing, and soon the whole cold waves, the whole thing will go away, and we'll again get a fresh and nice crop very soon, and we will again start surviving nicely. It doesn't mean that the importance of Christ is any less. He is really called the Messiah of the West. An enlightened person who has the wisdom, and he kept saying, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. He kept saying, Shivoham, Shivoham. If you do not understand, please understand like this, that I am the messenger of God. And that is what the enlightening state is. Problem with the enlightening state is that you lose the love, the illusionary love what people has got for their body. To protect it, you usually lose that. It doesn't matter to you whether you have body or not. It doesn't matter to you whether somebody harms you or somebody loves you. Somebody says something good or bad, it does not matter to you, because you come to a state in which opposition stops mattering to you. And you have at that stage nothing but unconditional love. And that is what Christ tried to give to all of the humanity. Wherever he reached, specifically in the West, he was saying, what you are doing is wrong. What you need is unconditional love. Another very important thing I would like to tell you, this is the problem of our earth, that you want to respect everybody but after they are dead. When they were telling the truth, they were trying to awaken us, we did not listen to them. And he was saying unconditional love is needed. Nobody was listening. And that is what became his enmity. Before the Christ came in the West, God was there. Concept of God was there. Everybody used to believe in God. But community was not God believing. Community was God fearing. Now also people, I hear, people always say, I am a God fearing man. God was being believed as an executioner. In Hindi language we call it Jallad. And how was God said? If you don't do this, he will punish you. And if you do this, this is the punishment. If you do this, he will come with a hunter and will start hunting you. This is how God was being perceived before Christ started his teaching. And what he taught, you have to understand, today also, we pretend to love him. But do we really love him? We do not care for his teachings even today. He said, God is not an executioner. What he is your friend. And more than friend, he is like your father. And if you go through those books, Bible, etc., he has said that he is your father. And no father can ever punish their son. They can try to correct you. Similarly, God is not there to punish you. He is not an executioner for your deed. First time in those areas, people must have heard that God is a friend. What he does? He forgets all your mistakes the moment you come and surrender to him. And if he forgets all your mistakes, what he does? He forgives you. This concept to the West was brought by Christ. That God is not an executioner. Source is not an executioner. What the authority of God, what this unseen energy does to us is not to punish us, is not to execute us, is not to give us hunters. This wonderful energy called God always loves us. And how is that love? Unconditional. When because of your deeds you are suffering something, I met somebody, and the moment I met her, she says, I don't believe in God. And if he is there, he has not done any good to me. She doesn't know that God can never do anything adverse to anyone. It can only be your karmas. Because He is our friend. We do not have enmity with Him. So what He does, He always tries to take us in His lap and protects us to the maximum extent possible. And this concept, nobody taught us. Everybody was earlier saying, no, He comes and He punishes us. You are lying in the grave, and then suddenly all the graves will start energizing and He will come and punish you. Christ was the first person who said, no, my child, no, He is not going to punish you. He is Father, He is friend, He is part of you. You belongs to Him. And if you belongs to Him, how can He provide you punishments? And He was the first person who said that what God does is forgetting and forgiving. And therefore, you go in His surrenderance. You go in His surrenderance and ask that, oh God, this sin has happened with me. Please forgive me. And if you see the churches made by Him or by the followers who followed later on, this system continues even today. There is a system that you go and meet the priest, or you go to church and there you say, oh God, this sin has been completed, has been done by me, and please forgive me. And then it is being believed that everything gets washed away by this karma of ours and we are forgiven. Second very important thing you must know about Christ is, He earlier they were only vampires. The energies present in the fourth dimensions were never good. They were either ghosts or vampires or something, bad energies. He first said, no, there are angels. Maybe you are not able to understand that energy present in the fourth dimensions. But if you understand some of the energies, they are present as angels. They love you. They love you unconditionally. And they are always available and ready to help you. So where you were having only fear always, there came a light which started saying you that fear is unnecessary. And what is necessary now after fear is unnecessary is unconditional love. And He started a method of prayers for connections. He said, there is an energy present in the universe called God, and you can be connected through that energy. And how you can connect to that energy? By prayers, by some rituals, by going and sitting in meditation. And that is how people collectively started sitting, collectively started praying, and the place of worships were born. and church started, temples started, and all those things started. Now, any wisdom is always tested. And Acharya, if you see, the word Acharya is usually used for gurus, not exactly gurus, but Acharya is a lower version of guru, you can say. Definition of Acharya is a knowledge, a wisdom which you have learned and have put in your life. Then only it is wisdom. If you have learned d by dx of x to the power n and you do not know, you have not put it in your life, then it doesn't become wisdom. Knowledge becomes wisdom only when you have learnt it and have put it into your life. And then only you get the capacity of teaching it to somebody. He has put the unconditional love in his life, and he tried always to spread the same unconditional love to everyone. That was also the cause of his death. Because that unconditional love was misunderstood. The truth has got a weakness. It has got a very big strength, but it has also got a weakness. That people easily don't understand it. Why? Because illusions around them does not allow them to understand it. And by the time you realize, it becomes very late. That is what has happened to him also. What happened? That by the time people realized that he had the wisdom, he has taught us unconditional love, it became late and he was no more. And when he was alive, what people were thinking? That it is a wrong thing he is trying to teach us. Don't fear God. Don't fear ghosts. Don't fear anyone. The universal energy is there to love you and not to put you in fear. Once again, the real true tribute to this great personality would be if all the believers who has been taught by him and their children starts doing and making unconditional love. And we eliminate the concept of God fearing. Instead, we try and make the concept of God loving. He tried to unite the humanity. And what we did? We separated it. We made Christianity. His concept was not to form a cult. His concept was not to form a religion. His concept was to help not only believer, but everyone equally. And the whole earth should convert from God-fearing to God-loving community. It is still relevant. Celebrations are necessary. They are at one place. We must celebrate. We must try to give the gifts. And that is why when somebody asked me this time, what should we do for Christmas? Shall we give gift to each other? I said no. This year you give 24 beautiful speeches and make it an Advent calendar. What is more important gold is less important than wisdom. Because if you have wisdom, you can get gold. And if you do not have wisdom and get gold, that will also be taken by somebody else who has the wisdom, who has the knowledge, who has the informations. And therefore, we try to celebrate this wonderful day from where the energy starts increasing. And this year, planetary positions are really good. Celestial, the whole universe around the earth is vibrating. We must all experience those vibrations, live in joy, peace and happiness, and try our level best not to remain God-fearing. Instead, we should try to convert ourselves and 10 people we know, at least 10 people we know, we must convert them from God-fearing to God-loving. And this would be the real tribute to this date, to this celestial energy present around the earth, and to this great personality for whom we are celebrating our day today. I wish and I pray from the core of my heart that this really comes in your life and you become God-loving in place of God-fearing, and the whole celestial energy you be able to experience in your heart and shed unconditional love to anyone and everyone you meet, and take a place that I'll provide unconditional love to everyone and at least to 10 people around us. Thank you.